Good evening. I am Jennifer Homendy, and I'm chair of the National Transportation Safety Board. With me today is our investigator in charge, Kenny Bragg. In total, we have, or will have, 16 personnel here as part of the investigation. That includes 9 investigators and 2 NTSB personnel that are part of our Transportation Disaster Assistance Team, which works with the families and survivors after significant events. Speaking of the families and survivors, I do want to take a moment before I continue and just say to the families and survivors that our hearts go out to you. For those who lost loved ones, our deepest condolences, and for others that were injured, just know that we are praying for a full recovery. So the National Transportation Safety Board is an independent federal agency charged by Congress with investigating significant crashes. We were notified at some point mid-morning that there was a crash at 8:15 a.m. this morning involving a motor coach that was operated by Pioneer Trails. That motor coach was transporting 57 passengers from Tuscarawas Valley Local School District to an Ohio School Boards Association conference in Columbus. The motor coach was traveling westbound on I-70 near Etna. Behind the motor coach was an SUV carrying passengers that were traveling with the group in the motor coach. They had approached a traffic queue that resulted from an earlier crash on I-70, and a tractor trailer approached behind the SUV. We have heard conflicting information about the sequence of events, so that's something we'll have to determine tomorrow. But we do know that at least 5 vehicles were involved. The 3 vehicles I mentioned, the motor coach, SUV, and the commercial motor vehicle, and at least 2 vehicles in front of the motor coach, another passenger vehicle, and another commercial motor vehicle. I do want to take a second and give our thanks to the Ohio State Highway Patrol. The Highway Patrol has been an incredible resource. They have an incredible team, and I just want to say thank you, and we really look forward to continuing to work with you throughout this investigation. Now, we just arrived, so I don't have a lot of information to share. What I will tell you is tomorrow morning we will begin with an organizational meeting, and then we will go to the scene of the crash where we'll begin our investigative process. Tomorrow afternoon I will have an update for you all. We'll probably have a press conference somewhere around 4 o'clock. Please monitor ntsb.gov and our social media. X, formerly known as Twitter, will have a tweet up on when our next press conference is. So with that, I will take any questions that you have. If you wouldn't mind sharing your name and your affiliation.
Yeah, Ms. Walker, NBC4. Will the investigation of the scene delay the road cleaning and open and repair?
The question is, will the investigation of the scene delay the road opening or repair? It should not delay in this crash. We can work around any sort of traffic, but it shouldn't delay the reopening or repair, not to my knowledge.
Stephanie Chanoff with ABC6. With a crash like this involving so many, do you have any idea of how long an investigation will take?
The question is, how long will the investigation take? Typically for these type of events, our investigation will be 12 to 18 months. However, in the next few weeks, we will issue a preliminary report. It's usually about 10 days after we leave the scene. We'll be on scene about 5 to 7 days. We'll issue a preliminary report which contains the factual information. It will not include analysis. That comes later. After we leave the scene, well, let me first address what we're doing on scene. What we're doing on scene is collecting the perishable evidence. We're looking for cameras that may have been in motor vehicles or the motor coach. We'll want to look at, determine what the sequence of the event was. We'll want to determine if there was hazmat in any of the commercial motor vehicles. We'll want to look at where the injuries were in the motor coach. So there's a lot that we will gather on scene. Other information that we'll need as part of the investigation will get collected after we leave, after the on-scene phase of the investigation. One thing I will also mention, aside from the preliminary report and the final report, is that any time during the investigation, we can issue urgent safety recommendations. If we see there is an urgent need to issue something to certain entities or industry-wide, we will not hesitate to issue safety recommendations. We've done that many times, and we would do that this time if we believe there is more of a systemic safety issue or something that we need to get out. Any other questions? All right, great. Again, please monitor our social media for press conference. I would look for it about 4 o'clock tomorrow. We want to have the most amount of information available for you so you can report to the public as well. Thank you.